practices that Andrew Harvey speaks about and the practices of the Sacred Activist is the practice of prayer. And it's one that lots of people get triggered by that word. So you have to take it into its biggest expression of whatever that means for you, and we spoke to that before. And then you want to think about that, well, there's sort of two types of prayer, as it were, that you were like vocalizing. One is sort of spontaneous. It's an uprising of something, and there's a deep, desire within in some way that needs to be voiced and expressed out to the divine, expressed out to consciousness and to the universe. And those are awesome, and some people make a practice of that and some people don't. And then there's another type of prayer, which is a set prayer, right? And every faith has a set prayer, and many. And what's the advantage of something that's spontaneous or something that has a structure? And the thing, they're both very valid practices. And one that's really interesting to me right now is more of like, what is it to recite devotionally a particular prayer or a few of them over and over and over again, as opposed to the spontaneous one where you can't repeat it over, it's going to change every time. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. And I can feel like there's an energy in the room right now that's kind of like, I don't like talking about prayer. I don't do that anymore. That's why I'm in yoga. So you can say mantra, like just make it palatable for you. But even mantra is just basically a prayer said over and over and over again. So you're happy to be like, oh, Hare Krishna, and you'll be like, oh, that's so great, but you'd never say the Lord's Prayer because, oh my God, I grew up with that one, right? So part of the practice is like to really soften. But no matter what it is, it can be like in the Celtic worlds, they're often just blessings, right? And I read a blessing to you last week, I think, from John O'Donohue. But to do one over and over and over again, to, as they sometimes say, pray without ceasing, but in a place where you're saying the same words as a repetition, just like we do yoga practice as something that you repeat and you repeat. And every time it goes into a deeper groove within who you are. And so I wanted to share with you two in particular today. Now there's one, often we chant it in yoga a lot, and it's the prayer, Loka Samista Sukhino Bhavantu, which means may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be free, or may all beings be happy, may all beings be free. And so it's one that can be chanted or spoken as mantra, or chanted more like a song over and over and over again. But it is, when you put the word may in front of it, within that there is blessing and there is prayer. And I was looking to another prayer or blessing that was offered out by a friend of mine, alerted me to it, and by Shanti Devi. And it's just so beautiful that I wanted to share it with you. And it says, may I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitude of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and sky, until all beings are free from sorrow and all beings are awakened. And this is a prayer of a bodhisattva, of an awakened being who comes and returns and returns and returns to earth in service. And finally, from a different faith, I want to share with you the beautiful prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. And in his prayer, it says, "Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we were born again." And so, wherever it is that your heart sits in the spiritual realm or the realm of faith, there is a way of being in this conversation with that which is bigger. And it can be called mantra, it can be called prayer, it can be called blessing, it can be called meditation in a way. But in all those, you're in a greater conversation beyond just yourself. You're into that deepest part of ourselves, which is also the divine.